about all this regarding what the ELT, the English language learners, okay? Okay. So as English as the main language in the classroom, even with beginners, okay? Try to make your teaching in the L2 as much as you can. Don't fall back on L1 as your first choice. For instance, always make routine interaction in L2, greeting and farewells, interactions, feedback, and all that. So here what he's trying to say that, okay, now for example you are teaching English, yeah? So what you do, try to teach in English, yeah? Rather than the Arabic. Because especially here in our countries and in the Arab countries, we don't have many people like around us speaking the English language, yeah? In some cases. So you try to practice with your student in class, okay? So the focus on the English. Okay, so even with the new vocabulary, try to teach in the L2, not L1. L1 is a last resort, okay? So demonstrate with actions and objectives, gestures, mimes, synonyms, translation, all that. Okay, so for example, you want to teach the students new vocabulary. So try to use it, like to teach them in English first, okay? So sometimes you need the first language, so you will do what kind of translation if they they didn't understand. So how will you teach like vocabulary for English, for example? What will you do? Do you have students? Yeah?
From a story. From a story.
Stories, yeah?
We pointed objects and actually use the vocabulary.
Yeah, object with vocabulary, cards and all that, yeah? Yes? Videos, or so different kinds of activities you can use to teach them the vocabulary in English. And if you cannot, sometimes it's hard, so you can use like little of translation to Arabic, okay? Okay, so arouse and maintain students' interest, attention, and motivation. So here we'll think about what, okay, so you want to teach the student, for example, like vocabulary, the skills, okay? Or like grammar or anything, okay? So you have to think about what the student interest and what their motivation. Like for example, in this class, how we started? We start that, if you want to do your task, you choose, yeah? So it is your own interest as the beginning, okay? So, and I had a research, and that research I published is about, how the students' reading and writing improved because of their interest, because they choose to write and read about whatever topic they want, okay? And it's like approved by research, okay? So how? So every activity is worthwhile or relevant, okay? Students feel that progress is being made, there is achievement, there is curiosity, they feel that their personalities have become richer, deeper, and their thinking, okay, self-confidence. So for this, you try to have some kind of activities that, you build up the students, yeah, their knowledge, their skills, their critical thinking, motivation, all that, okay, through the activities. That they feel they sometimes they own, like for example, they write their own story, so they own what they have, okay, what they have written, okay? What do you mean by curiosity? Yes?
Curiosity?
Yeah?
Something they want to know about.
Yeah, good. So for example, what do you want to know about, for example?
Something to know about it?
Yeah?
I don't know, maybe more about space and the solar system.
Okay, good.
So
Salama?
I'm curious about it.
So you'll start reading about, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Salama? You're curious to know about what, for example?
Animals. I have a great interest in knowing about animals and
Okay, so politics, yeah? Yeah?
politics.
Enemies. What do you mean by enemies?
Animals.
Animals,
Yes.
okay. Animation and this all like
No. The actual animals, cats, dogs.
Animals.
in general.
Yes.
Yes.
animals. Okay, animals. Okay, good. Animals. I didn't hear you. Yeah?
So for me, it'd be history, but more like the Renaissance period.
Tell me,
History.
tell me more.
So it's more curiosity about how did they live in certain periods of time. So for example, they don't have technology. So how did they survive? How did they get their food, their clothes? What were they made of? Their food. For me, it's going to deep.
Wow. Okay.
Probably psychology, you could say, like certain people do things and how's the reaction and their behavior, will it also be with other, will it be the same with other people also?
Okay, good. For me, I'm looking for like diets and this time keto diets and to understand what's going on and all that. So it depends, yeah. So if you have interest, you will continue reading, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so these are all prerequisites for the long-term objectives and goals, yeah. So very important, follow the principle of the learner-centered instruction, which is a learning-teaching situation in which a student take part in setting goals and objectives. It is concerned about student likes, dislikes, feelings, and values. Students are seen as active, okay, rather than passive participants in learning, teaching processes. Students take much of the responsibilities for their own learning. There is a sample teacher, student, and student interaction. Students are actively involved in shaping how they learn. That's it, students co-construct knowledge rather than just receive knowledge. There is abundance of brainstorming, activities, pair work, small group work, and extra. The teacher is seen as a partner in learning processes, an advisor, helper, counselor, facilitator of learning, even sometimes as a co-learner than an instructor or lecturer who spoon feeds learners with knowledge. Okay, so the idea is what? The focus on what? On the learners, okay? You are the learners, you are the one who learn whatever you want, and you decide how you will learn it and how you enjoy it, okay? So I'm watching like series about, because I'm curious more on how other cultures they are learning, their classrooms and all that, and it's fancy, it's amazing because, in the Western countries, the focus more is let's say, for example, you are groups, you do your task, yeah? So they can meet at their homes, yeah? But here, you go to your classmate home and do the work and, no, yeah?
In school, yeah, I used to do that.
Now?
Only on projects.
Now?
No.
It's less, yeah? For them, no, it's a big deal. If your partner, it's it's you are marrying him, marrying him, yeah? It's not, it's when you marry someone, so because he will be like your project or research partners, yeah? So it's more in that context. I think here still we don't have that, that environment. And let's say, for example, the library. Do you go to the library here?
Yes.
Sometimes, but it's not. Like in the US, when I was in my master's degree and PhD, the library is my home. We sleep there, we eat there, everything, yeah? So it's different. The dynamic is different, okay? Okay. So the idea is what? The learner, you are the one, you think about what do you want to learn and how you learn it, okay? Okay. So the successful teacher, main characteristic of the successful teacher, okay? Nov, can you read?
Has a practical command of English, not just a knowledge of grammar rules. Use English most of the time, even with beginners. Thinks mostly in terms of learner achievement and practice, not just teacher explanation. Emphasize real communication activities, not just artificial practices of language forms. Focuses attention of learners' need and quality teaching, not on finishing the syllabus or coursework. Remains on the alert of professional development and teacher development.
Okay. So this, as a teacher, you have to think about how you improve yourself, how you communicate with the students, how you create good activities, how you, let's say, for example, let's say kind of learning and teaching for the students. Let's say for example, last semester we had done the project, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And now let's say you have the competition, the innovation, and you participate in that. So that's good, yeah? When you think in that mentality that, whatever you do, it has to be a benefit for you, that will be good, yeah? For a purpose, yeah? You don't just, you write and, I remember I asked some of my students, they said, they mentioned that, after the course ends, they throw all their papers, yeah? Because it's not useful for them, okay? But I mean, if we change all this dynamic, okay, to have it if you do, for example, I remember when I was in my PhD program in the comparative and international education, we have students each year in the summer, undergraduate students, they go to some of the African countries, they volunteer there, and they do, it's part of their, like, summer courses. So that's good, yeah? So you do the work, you volunteer, and you have something, yeah? It's like, the experience. And also, New York University here in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
So for example, they have, I think, a course related to the museum and history and all that. So what they do, they took them, like, I think, to London once in summer to do their projects. So that's good, yeah, if you have that opportunity, yeah. And also here in our college, students went to, did you go before? Like they went to different countries, I think Kazakhstan or Singapore and the US. It's all like, kind of like, program of courses for leadership, for English and all that. So try to take this opportunity because that's the way you learn. It's better than just, sitting in class and reading and all that. Okay? Okay, so can you continue, Latifa? The top 10 desirable.
Top 10 desirable personal qualities of a teacher, the good teacher. Recent research has found that students favor teachers who are caring, creative, energetic, patient, respectful, know their subject well, have knowledge of learning theories, like know how we learn, and able to, are sensitive to and appreciate learners' differences and their different learning styles, have knowledge of teaching methods, teaching methodologies, provide error correction and feedback in a respectful and meaningful manner, well planned and well organized.
Okay, so that one is a book. It's called The Good Teacher. Okay, I have read that book a long time ago. So this is the characters of the teacher. So okay, think about your own teacher. Okay, imagine a teacher. Okay, so what do you want to have as a teacher, as his or her characteristics? What do you want?
Fun.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Patient.
Yeah.
Patient. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes. No.
I don't know, fun. If students are going to remember me as fun classes, it's better because students learn through fun better than learning through boring classes. So
Okay, good. Yeah.
For
be
me, it's
creative.
definitely caring and accepting their differences,
Mm-hmm.
especially as I'm planning my practices. I think this will be a private school,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to be dealing with a lot of nationalities.
Okay. I hope that I have a teacher who will take me around the world. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So they will teach me through, they will take me to different countries, yeah, and I learn, yeah. Why not? Yeah, it's good, yeah. Okay, so the summary of the unit, yes, Fatma.
As a successful and professional teacher, you should be aware of all these prerequisites and requirements for you to succeed. Specifically, you should know your role and its importance in the whole education system. You should be aware of the multiple short and long-term goals of ELT, work towards them and make them apparent to your students. You should make English the main language of instruction in the classroom. You should arouse and maintain your students' attention, interest, and motivation. You should possess most, if not all, of the characteristics that make a good and successful teacher.
Mm-hmm.
These 5 sets of prerequisites and principles create favorable conditions for effective teaching and optimal learning.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're done with unit 1. We'll go to unit 2. You have it, unit 2? Can you both